All right. How is everyone doing today? I'd like to welcome everyone to our wonderful trading session today. My name is Thomas and I work for OLYMP TRADE. I'm a trader and analyst, and for the next about 30 minutes, I'll be talking about markets for you. So, once again, how's everyone doing? How's your trading week? So, we are pretty much halfway in our first, more than halfway, like 60% in our first into our first trading day of the week. And yeah, first of all, I would like to get some feedback about from you. Maybe my dear traders, dear friends, maybe you watched our trading event yesterday. Oh, I mean, not yesterday, but last week. So the event which was called the trading marathon, 4 hours of trading and a few mixed with a few contests. So lovely contests where basically, so finally our collective trade, collective trade number one closed with profits, and so everyone who participated in that contest enjoyed nice price of risk-free trades. And we also had that additional contest of which was called Guess the Quote. And basically in that contest, people were able to win some really nice cash prizes as well. So how is my screen? And I think my screen should be visible. So hello. I do not see the stats for this webinar right now, but I think things will get better. I hope that things will get better. Now, well, first of all, while everyone is joining our wonderful event, and so let's talk for a few minutes about my trades. So, guys, as you can see, I've been talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin, maybe a little bit, maybe a little too much. I've been talking about them, but there were those very classic patterns that formed, especially on Bitcoin. Probably I don't know, like how more classic can it get. So this pattern here is really this pattern from the books. It's like you see this in Eric Nyman's The Small Encyclopedia of Trading, or like pretty much all books about technical analysis. So this thing is called I don't know, like the wedge, right? So either triangle or wedge. Okay, some people just simply call it flag. Okay, it's just multiple variations of the same kind of pattern, where you have, like, first you have downtrend, so then you have this first breakout pattern, this accumulation area, so where for a long time price sits somewhere here, especially near some round level, and then we have this breakout, and then we have this kind of triangle. We have this resistance level and support level, and the price is kind of stuck in there, and the price trades in there for a few maybe days, for a few weeks sometimes, and the fluctuations, the amplitude of fluctuations, so or in trading terms that's called ATR, average true range, is on the decline, so it decreases, and then one day we have this breakout. So usually this breakout move or wave of growth, like this basically uptrend, usually it is the size of this previous, so 40 to 43 and a half, and then we have this breakout at 43 and a half kind of. So then you need to add 3,500, which is around 47,000. So that's our target number one, and potentially one could close these trades at this level, because that would have been the target number one. But at the same time, why I still hold these positions on Bitcoin. Well, pretty much because in my opinion it just has more like upside potential. And once again, I mean, if you think about it, Bitcoin, like, it went from say 20,000 up to almost 45, 48,000 to this range, towards this range, and it's not really getting any significant coverage on the media, which is really not something that you would expect, because previously, you know, all previous times, say 2.5, 3 years back, 2021, when Bitcoin was going from 10 to towards 50, 60, and eventually 68,000. There was so much media coverage about that. Now, that's not the case today, and that gives me more kind of certainty. That just gives me more confirmation. That's another additional fundamental confirmation that I can see, is that it seems that this rise is happening pretty quietly. So it's not really spoken on the media, it's not really spoken on the news, it's not really, it's only spoken about, it's only talked about, discussed by traders and those who are like crypto investors and pretty much people who are in the know. So this gives me like why is it important? So it is important because the broader audience, the crowd, we call it the crowd, you know, that audience has not yet joined this rise, and yeah, that pretty much gives me more kind of understanding that we have more upside potential. Okay, so, and yeah, I mean, that's why I think it is important what's going on right now, that we have more people, you know, talking about this, like not so many people talking about this. And when more people will join this hype, and more people will, you know, talk about, you know, when people will talk more about that, then I think there will be another wave of growth. Because if you look at it from this weekly, so we have basically, it's the first wave, the second wave, and third. So we should have third, fourth, and fifth. So that's how usually it works with wave analysis, according to my experience. Maybe if we look at it from the weekly, yes, we have maybe 1, 2, 3. Even here we have 1, the first wave, the second, the third, the fourth, maybe like this, and the fifth one. So, I mean, look, definitely. I mean, it's kind of, I'm 90% certain that eventually we are going to reach the 70,000 level mark, and then like 100 this time easily is can easily be you know, reached. Attained, a very attainable goal, in my opinion, right now. So so that's about it. That's about Bitcoin. Now I see a question about gold in our chat, and basically with gold, yes, the here is the deal. Gold is trading, and in fact has been trading above 2000, which is a very important psychological mark for quite a while. And if we look at it on 7-day time frame, so weekly time frame, we can see that previously this level, like 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, 3 times the price was trying to break above this level, and it seems that finally here, so for almost 2 months, maybe even more now, right? Like 2 months, a little more, we have been sitting finally about 2000. So once again, going back to this technical analysis thing, we are trading above a very important resistance level. So this very important, very important resistance level, and yeah, I mean, we are bound for another like 2000, 2100, 2200. So I think that gold has a lot of potential. I will tell you about one more factor. So if we look at Nasdaq, which is Nasdaq and other indices, they are on the rise, and usually when indices they are on the rise, something happens to gold. So gold either follows it, or I would say on the contrary, gold usually oftentimes goes down, is in decline. Why? Because gold is considered this safe haven, and when during the times of instability, gold usually drops in price. But we have totally pretty much zero correlation here. So Nasdaq went from, wow, that's a huge rise. I mean, like if we look at it, so from the 1st of November and up, so November, December, January, half February, like in 3 months, we went up by more than 20%, like 25%, I think, like, right? Yeah, for 4,000, that's 25%, like almost 30%. That is a huge bull run on Nasdaq. I mean, that's not something that you have every day, like every month. It's a relatively rare thing. Like, I mean, the speed is just accelerating. It means that all this money goes to, well, I mean, like it's the biggest bull run since 2020, I guess, right? So on the bottom of the COVID pandemics, so when the COVID pandemic began, after this huge sell-off, then Nasdaq went from 7,000, a little under, from 7,000 up to 16.5, almost 17,000. And now we have renewed its previous highs. So this past few weeks, every day basically there was this new high, new all-time high, new all-time high. So that is pretty amazing in my opinion, guys. And yeah, so 14,000 and up to 18,000. So that's a significant move, and I think last week we couldn't really breach the 18,000 mark. So but we came very close. So it was very, very close. So we'll see what's gonna happen this week. But the most important point is this. So as soon as Nasdaq starts dropping, I think gold will just go up in price, because now we have this, once again, this total like uncorrelation, right? This total divergence, right? So MACD, moving average convergence divergence, and in this case we have total divergence, right? So divergence between, like, as I say once again, so gold is trading sideways and Nasdaq is on the rise. So that is not something that, so they either go up in price, or for example they have this it's called like -1 correlation, when Nasdaq goes up and gold drops in price, but not like this, like totally sideways move. This means accumulation of big positions by major players. So these major players, they are experiencing okay, they know something that we don't know, or they have expectations. So right, let me see, are there any other questions? So hello. What do you mean fake platform? No, our platform is real, it's not fake. And this year we're celebrating 10 years of operation, so it means that I mean, fake apps cannot, or fake platforms cannot stay for 10 years on the market. So this is a real proof. This is the real proof that our platform is real, and people like us, and people have been trading with us for 10 years, and we have clients from who joined in 2014-15, and they're still with us. So I can see a question about our Crash STM 300 index, and so today I had a very profitable trade, a very interesting trade on Crash 300. I cashed in plus 100%. Now, what's the strategy about crash 300? So, well, that's a good question, right? So, first of all, before talking about any strategies, you really need to notice the main pattern or the main distinguished feature about this crash STM 300 index. So as you can see, green candlesticks, so green, the candlesticks of the growth candlesticks, they are always of the same size, right? So it's they are of the same size, but these crashes, so red candlesticks, which are candlesticks of crash, of like decrease, they are different. And basically the main trick with this crash 300 index is you want to build, you want to create, you want to draw a trading system or a trading strategy that would so basically you have two options, right? Option number one is, as you can see, after each crash you have this growth series, or we can apply this another thing, like, okay, let me open this trade. So as you can see, it's like this resistance level of resistance. So for example, price goes up and then eventually drops from a certain point. So strategy number one is to basically hope that is basically to chase these crashes and to hope that, okay, so this crash is coming and you can predict when this crash happens. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the strategy. So, and how do you do it? Well, basically there are multiple options. You can apply, you can use strategies. One strategy that I can really recommend is triple rebound strategy. So here it is, and as you can see, so this index, it really does follow this the signals from, yeah, let me remove this slow one. Okay, so once again, overbought, oversold, these things work. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I will open another trade downwards. So in this index, your stop out equals 50%, which translates into 2 candlesticks of growth. So your stop out size, the stop out size is enough for 2 candlesticks of growth if you trade against the trend. And then you either have to use the martingale system or the loss compensation system and increase, like, double the amount you invest. That's one option. Or you keep trading with fixed amount and hoping that you will be lucky and will spot this major reversal point. So these are basically 2 strategies that I see. So you either open up trades after like 1 red candlestick and then you hope to catch 1, 2, 3, and maybe after the 4th one you close the trade. So basically, if I were you, like what I would do in your place, I would just roll back and I would count. I would like basically really count, like 1 red and 1, 2, 3, like 7 green, 1 red, I know, like 10 green, 1 red, 2 reds. And I would just basically do it over and over and over again. And I would try to look at it, at the numbers that I receive. And I would see which strategy. So I would, in other words, it's called backtesting or it's called paper trading. So it's when you open your trading account and or any chart, and then you just like, all right, so if I enter here, right, like at this point, does it make more sense to open down trades or up trades? And then I would use this. Another indicator which you can combine with this strategy is called simple SMA, simple moving average. And oftentimes you can apply 50 and you can see, all right, so 50, what about 100? All right, so 100 works, 50 works to a certain extent. So you can apply the strategy which is called JACTAR, which is basically the combination of 3 different SMAs. So SMA 50, 100, and 200. And you can build, like you can really draw a strategy like that one. And you can use like levels of resistance, levels of support. So there are various strategies. And for example, here we are now overbought according to the 7 RSI indicator. So that's why I opened trades in the downwards direction. So hoping to catch this reversal. So I talked about gold, I talked about Crash 300. So yeah, it's a very interesting asset, and because it has this pretty high multiplier, 400, and given its overall volatility, which is pretty high, I would suggest that this asset is really for experienced traders. And in my opinion, due to the nature of this of the chart here, I would argue that this asset is quite interesting in the sense that it combines, it kind of combines like the benefits of FTT trades with the benefits of Forex. So it gives you this potential to keep trades, to hold trades for long periods of time, because there is no limitations on that, and at the same time it has this pretty lucrative profitability, which is quite high, but at the same time risks are also high. So once again, I mean, there is this one simple solution. So the solution is this: like do a lot of paper, like backwards testing, paper trading, and try to draw your trading strategy first. And I mean, yeah, just it's very basic, very simple. Just so how often, so it's all about probability, right? I mean, like trading is all about probability and about finding patterns. But in this example, so how often do growth phases like this one happen? Like, is it a very common event? Is it a very common thing? Maybe not. So how does it behave when it's above the 50 SMA and when it's below the 50 SMA? So we can clearly see that usually below the 50 SMA, I mean, it's another, exchange traded asset. It's another financial assets, and all financial assets, they follow this very simple pattern. That's pretty much all patterns or all figures of technical analysis they can be applied. They apply to, I would say, any asset that is traded, even though this one in particular has this pretty kind of funny looking chart. Okay, so other than that, I would say that this is a very common thing, and this kind of asset is just not so different in a global sense. If, for example, if you switch it to 4 hours, well, you're gonna see it's a very trendy asset, and we are now in the downtrend, right? So I think that is why my trades are by trend, so according to the prevailing trend that is happening right now. And you should be opening down trades because it's kind of, it follows the trend. All right. So that's how you go. Just maybe showing you this example. Maybe I should be showing this other example when the price goes up, but I started doing this counter trend thing, and it continues. So line, I can. So this next double top, next resistance level. So guys, that's it about this index. Very interesting index. Oh, now it drops, and for example, I can either close this trade. Okay, so finally this crash came. But oftentimes, let's see, maybe I do not wanna give away all these profits, and maybe usually maybe there will be two red candlesticks in a row, because as you can see, oftentimes that happens. So you never know, but for a quick trade that can happen. All right. Ooh, boom, like this. All right, so maybe now's the time to close this trade. Okay, closing the trade, calculating my profits. So I need to add up my losses. So minus 24, minus 44, 84, 134, 134 plus 75, that's like 200 something. So all right, after 1 2 3 4 5 6 trades, seventh trade, on the seventh trade, and I managed to close this series with plus $220 approximately. And now after this crash, I can open an up trade with $25, and I will probably close it after 2-3 profitable green candlesticks, unless another drop happens, and then I will basically be kicked out of this trade by a stop out. So that is that's the story about this index. So as I said, there are basically two main strategies, and I mean, you just need to count, and you need to do back testing, and I mean, because of this pretty high multiplier, it's also pretty risky. So you need to be really confident in your calculations, in your preparations, because this kind of high multiplier doesn't allow a lot of room for mistake, for error. So you cannot just confuse buttons. It will be very costly. Well, I mean, all right, here, see, boom, closes. Maybe I should have kept it for a long period. I would have made more money. So that's the trick about this index. So this trade by now would have made probably even like plus 300%. So as I say, this asset requires a lot of discipline, but at the same time, it can generate pretty generous profits. So I definitely recommend this asset, and I like this asset a lot. Provide us risk-free trades, says Mr. Anup. So for risk-free trades, guys, I would like also to make this very important announcement that on the 29th of February, pretty much in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks time, on Wednesday, I think, we are going to have this pretty big event, which is the trading marathon in Hindi. So I would like to welcome everyone, to invite everyone to that event. So please join it. It'll be in Hindi, and we will run a few contests where you can win risk-free trades. And I mean, like, don't forget that in your trader's way, you can win some risk-free trades and things of that nature. So, and you can get experience points by trading. So the more you trade, and actually the more profits you make, the faster your XP grows and the more risk you trade. you can get. And I would like to say once again, just one final thought about risky trades, that once again, risky trades are not a game changer. They can help you in case you have a temporary loss or something, but this doesn't change the overall system, because risky trades, maybe they can help you with 1%, 2% of your, I don't know, like recovery or extra profits, but it's not a game changer. So game changer is actually working on your trading strategy, your discipline, your your like overall skill set, and how often you attend, trading sessions with your analyst and things of that nature. And I mean, risky trades can be a nice addition to your overall profits, but it's not a game. It's just really not a game changer. It's like, it's a little form of cashback, which is nice to get, and in fact, maybe you can treat yourself to something nice when you get some profits, some extra profits, help thanks to that risky trades thing, but it's just not a game changer. So what are your thoughts on the yen currency strength? Well, yen actually is on the constant decline, and I think we are about for another breakout. So USD, I think it's very likely that USD, the United States dollar, will break above the 150 level. So 150 now is a very important level for this currency pair. It's a very important psychological level, but I think it's very convenient for Japan, since its economy is so much export oriented. Such weak yen basically allows the Japanese economy to feel relatively strong and relatively fine during the current turmoil situation. So oil prices are stable, have been stable in the past few months, maybe the past year, even though they're at relatively high level. But I mean, it's still $80. It's not. I mean, like, considering how much inflation there happened in the overall world economy, I would say that in general, it's not really discounted in oil prices. So I think that USDJPY still has a lot of downside potential, right? And we can easily see this breakout above 150, 152. So I've also been talking about this asset all along when it dropped towards 140. So this round number was a perfect entry point for the yen. And I think now the yen will just be getting weaker and weaker and weaker. But as I say, it's not bad. It's not too bad for the Japanese economy. And as you can see on this news, on this overall situation, the Nikkei index, the Nikkei 225, is basically renewing its all-time. Is it all-time high? I think it's all-time highs. I read it in the news the other day that after so many years of stagnation between 2005 and 2020 or something. No, 2017. Finally, the economy is on the rise. Well, I mean, like this virtual economy, right? The digital economy is on the rise, and the Nikkei 225 is reaching its all-time highs, and pretty much it keeps renewing all-time highs every other day, every other week. So we have a lot of upside potential here. And for the yen, well, I mean, even though the yen is dropping, it's not too bad for the Japanese economy. So we have first approach towards 150, the second one with two false breakouts, and then finally here, I mean, it's just this triangle situation, very similar to what we saw on Bitcoin, kinda, with a few differences, but there was this on 4-hour or 1-hour time frame. There clearly was this triangle wedge. So with this USDJPY chart. So, and it's just really bound for uptrend. I mean, I just look at it and it's just approaching, it's just nearing this strategic level, and unless some really strong measures are taken by the Central Bank of Japan, which I doubt will happen, because once again it's very interesting. So such price levels are very interesting for the Japanese economy, which is once again a very export-oriented economy. So these such levels are totally fine for the yen. Now, one final thought or one final idea, actually two final ideas. So, as you can see, when you compare Bitcoin and Ethereum prices, you can see how low relative its 2021 highs Ethereum is. So there Ethereum went towards 4,000, and here, and we are like halfway, not even halfway, kind of halfway, yeah, halfway, comparing to these prices. But with Bitcoin, we are like already much closer to these highs, as you can see. I mean, like this picture, this technical picture is very obvious. So I think this gives me more certainty that I think we can easily see Ethereum accelerating in growth. So that's why they both will grow, but Ethereum after a certain point, will just outpace Bitcoin and will just grow much faster in price. That is my opinion about Ethereum and about Bitcoin, about these cryptos, the two crypto assets. So I really recommend keeping an eye on Ethereum. All right, so what about economic calendar? This week we are celebrating Chinese New Year, so congratulations for everyone who celebrates it. We have Brazil Carnival, Japan National Day. We have many holidays pretty much, yeah, in China, so that's why this week I think will be a relatively slow one. And we just have a few major news from the United States dollar about inflation, so CPI, core price index, inflation from the United Kingdom, and the GDP data from the UK, from Japan, and well, some portion of news from the US, but not really the most important one. And we have PPI, another inflation from producers, from the production industry, and it is to be released on Friday. So other than that, I think that this week will be active, especially in the cryptos. So definitely I recommend pay attention to that. And in conclusion, I would like to remind you that we conduct many trading sessions online, our YouTube webinars. So feel free to join them, and feel free to invite your friends, relatives, whoever you want, because we share a lot of useful knowledge there. And save the date, the 29th of February. And in the beginning of March, we will run another trading marathon on this, we call it the global channel, right? YouTube Global, OLYMP TRADE Global, and it'll be a fun one, fun event. So I definitely recommend joining that event. So that's it for today. Don't forget to like and to subscribe. I really wish you a wonderful trading week. Hope that you will learn something new this week, and hope you will make some nice profits this week. If you have any questions, feel free to contact our customer support. They are always happy to answer your questions and to connect you with our wonderful VIP analysts who are always happy to help you out with your trading trading results. So one final question, sir, please give me answers. Some people are predicted impact before releasing news. How? Well, I will tell you one thing. Sometimes you just see it on the chart, like kind of you just see on the chart that it's more likely that price will drop. But I don't know who these people are. that can see that. Maybe they are insiders. I don't really know how one can predict the news, because it's not just the news, but it's actually the actual number with the forecasted number. So it's basically you have one derivative from another derivative. In my opinion, this is a very difficult thing, and very few people can do it. I personally do not trade. I do not try to anticipate where price will move. Instead, I open trades afterwards. So once the news is released and I can see that, all right, now we are dropping or we are growing, and I try to join that like upwards or downwards movement after some news has been released. I don't often try to predict, to anticipate where prices will move next before the news is released. In my opinion, it is just very, very difficult, like almost nearly impossible. But what is possible is to wait until the news is released, and once it has been released, you can open trades according to the new price balance, or like power balance, whether it's buyers or sellers. So you can see that. All right, I will wrap it up here. It was a pleasure conducting this webinar for you. I hope you have a wonderful trading week, and see you next Monday. Have a good day, and bye-bye.